I'm joined by Dave Spencer, Head of Crime and Justice at the think tank Policy Exchange and a former Detective Chief Inspector with the Met Police. Dave, I mean, it's happened to me. I know it's happened to Jacob. You know, 2 or 3 people turn up and make a bit of noise and then disappear fairly quickly. But an organised protest with up to 100 people for 4 hours outside an MP's home, it's pretty frightening stuff, isn't it?
Well, good evening. I think that's absolutely right. And certainly my sense of things is that we are now confronting a pretty serious and actually escalating issue, which actually goes to the very heart of our democratic settlement. We're all well aware of some of the really awful cases, the murder of Joe Cox MP in 2016 and Sir David Amess in 2021.
Yeah.
But actually, we're all very familiar with those cases. What I think is less well known are the reality, the cases where actually MPs and other parliamentarians are confronting and dealing with a daily barrage of threats, stalking, harassment, really on a daily basis. And what I'm not talking about here is the sort of normal thrust of public debate, which, as you rightly say, any politician can deal with. I'm talking about really very serious, awful criminal behaviour. And certainly my sense is that this is a problem which is getting worse. And the impact for our politics and for our democracy is very serious. The risk of fewer good people willing to go into politics, a limit on honest debate. Like, we do need to have politicians who are willing and able to have honest debate about serious policy matters. And my grave concern is that these sorts of issues are now going to be having a serious effect on our democratic settlement.
I worry too. Do you think MPs should be given close protection when they're outside the parliamentary estate?
Well, the national police operation is called Operation Bridger. And there are different aspects of Operation Bridger that MPs, depending on the risk, can access, whether that's panic alarms, whether it's security staff, these sorts of things. I think my major concern here is that while there are some police forces which are very good on this, there are inevitably, I'm afraid, some who are less good. And for some MPs, it is a bit of a potluck depending on which constituency and force area you're dealing with. So I think, you know, there is more to be done, and this is an issue we need to take very seriously. I think in relation to the terrible scenes outside Mr. Ellwood's home, I think one of the things that certainly occurs to me is that the legal question here, and the big legal question really, is that what seems to happen is that with the police and the courts and prosecutors is some kind of balancing of rights exercise. On one hand, we have the rights of Mr. Ellwood and his family and his neighbours to have a private family life. And on the other hand, we have rights of a mob to shout and scream through megaphones for a number of hours during the evening. And it seems to me that time and again, the rights of the mob and protesters are winning out. And my concern this is that the right way around? I would say probably not.
Yeah. No. Dave Spencer, thank you for your clarity of thought on this very, very important issue.